There are items that people have packed in their bags for years and suddenly they're getting pulled aside at TSA. Not because the rules changed, but because enforcement did. So if you ever thought, wait, why did my bag just get flagged? In this video, I'm going to show you the exact items TSA is cracking down on right now, why they're getting flagged, and how to avoid delays at security. Let's go.
Dream vacations start here.
One of the biggest stress points people have is having your bag flagged for additional screening. Let's make sure this doesn't happen to you. First up is large powders. This would include things like protein or energy powders and even makeup powders. Before, it wasn't really an issue to carry large quantities of powder in your carry-on. However, recently, any powder-like substances greater than 12 ounces are now being flagged. In fact, if you have powders over 12 ounces, the TSA is now more likely to flag and open your bag to examine the substance more closely. According to the TSA, powder-like substances greater than 12 ounces must now be placed in a separate bin for X-ray screening, and they encourage everyone to place non-essential powders greater than 12 ounces in a checked bag. Now, if you'd rather not have to check a bag, you can just divide your powders into small containers that are less than 12 ounces and place them in your carry-on. Doing this will also allow you to skip the step of having to take it out of your bag and place it in a security bin. The next set of items that the TSA is cracking down on are power banks. This is a big one, and the TSA is cracking down hard on this one because of fire risks. In 2025 alone, the FAA recorded the single most incidents involving lithium batteries, with the biggest culprit being power banks. And these incidents are recorded whenever a device is experiencing extreme heat, smoking, or catches fire. Last year, a South Korea plane caught fire caused by an overheating power bank that was stored in the overhead luggage compartment on the airplane. As a result, airlines have implemented new restrictions involving power banks. Southwest, for example, now requires passengers to keep their power banks visible while using them to charge their devices. You can no longer use them while storing them in your bags. Other airlines such as China Airlines, Thai Airways have the same restrictions, and Singapore Airlines have banned power banks completely. Since this is a growing problem, the TSA is cracking down on any device that does not have clear labeling. So if your device doesn't clearly show the battery type or the watt-hour capacity, then it's likely that your device will get confiscated. As a reminder, all devices with lithium batteries need to be under 100 watt-hours, while any device between 100 and 160 watt-hours will need airline approval. Devices that would have lithium batteries in them would be laptops, wireless headphones, cell phones, power banks, and tablets, just to name a few. Now, there's one device that has been completely banned from bringing through security and on a plane, and that would be the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. So if you happen to own one, your device has been placed on the wall of shame, and you can no longer travel with it. Now, if your device doesn't have the watt hours on them and instead has ampere hours, which is listed as AH, or milliampere hours, which is listed as mAh, the FAA has a conversion calculator that will link in the description that you can use. But just know that all lithium batteries are capable of overheating, and flight crews are trained to recognize and respond to lithium battery fires in the cabin. So if you see a device overheating, expanding, smoking, or burning, you should notify the flight crew immediately. The next TSA rule that has changed has to do with wireless hair tools. These would include any wireless curling irons, flat irons, and hair straighteners that contain either lithium batteries or contain gas or butane gas cartridges. These have now all been banned from checked luggage. So if you're looking to pack one for your next flight, they will now need to be packed in your carry-on, and a safety cover must be fitted over the heating element, and only one is allowed per passenger. The reason for this change is that these devices have been causing actual fires on planes because the batteries on these devices are prone to overheating through a process called thermal runaway, which can occur at any time due to various factors, such as if the battery has been damaged, overheated, exposed to water, overcharged, or improperly packed. It's a real risk that the TSA and the airlines want to avoid. However, electric curling irons and straighteners with cords are not restricted, and you're welcome to pack those in either your checked or carry-on bag. Another change that the TSA has been more strict about has to do with food. Now, the rules have not changed about food. Solid food and snack items such as cheese, crackers, sandwiches, and dried fruits are fine to take through security, but the problem recently has become more of the homemade food variety. If you're wrapping your food in foil or non-transparent containers, it's now more likely to be flagged, inspected, or be confiscated altogether. To avoid this situation, it's best to place your food into transparent containers that can easily be inspected and easily seen through the X-ray scanners. And I would avoid trying to bring any food that can't be easily identified. If you're bringing in food from a fast food restaurant, make sure it's not wrapped in foil or contain any liquid items. Condiment packets will be fine to take through, but trying to take through a side of salad dressing or soup or chili, those types of foods are not going to be allowed through security and you'll be forced to throw it away. Other factors that can get you flagged going through TSA are overstuffed bags and too many electronics. If your bag is overpacked and disorganized, the TSA can't clearly see what's inside, which increases your chances of being flagged. The same goes for electronics. In most cases, you're going to have to take them out of your bag and place them in a security bin anyway. But for those of you who have pre-check or are going through airports with the most up-to-date scanners, you won't have to take your electronics out of your bag. However, if your laptop, tablet, and chargers are all stacked together, they end up looking like one big blob onto the scanner, which may lead to additional screening. So make sure to keep your bag organized and separate your electronics from each other. If you're unsure about any item that you want to bring through security, you can always go to tsa.gov and search your item under "What can I bring?" Or you can also contact the TSA directly through their social media accounts, or you can also call or email them. I have messaged them on a number of occasions, and they do reply back to you fairly quickly with an answer. And if you have more airport security questions, I have a video that answers the top TSA questions that I get, so be sure to check out that video next. And if you found this video helpful, let me know by giving the video a like. Thank you so much for watching, and safe travels.